Welcome back to CloudGeniusHub. I'm Amit Ghosh, and today we are going to set up application load balancer on Compute Engine in Google Cloud. So let's get started. So I have opened the skill lab pages, and you can see I have started this implementing cloud load balancing for Compute Engine. So previously we have done network load balancer implementation, and today we are going to implement the application load balancers. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start with the lab. Okay, so let's start the lab. Launch with 1 credit. I have total 35 credit and I have to use that. Okay, so this is the lab. Now we have to, I think you all know what you have to go for the next step. Okay, we have to open this Google Cloud Console in incognito mode. Okay, so let's get the overview of this lab. In this hands-on lab, you will learn how to set up a layer 7 application load balancer on Compute Engine virtual machines. Okay, and L7 load balancer, what is L7 load balancer? Now L7 load balancer actually can understand the HTTPS protocols and allowing them to make routing decisions based on parameters like URL, headers, cookies, and the content of the request. And this allows for improved application performance and responsiveness. So this is why application load balancer is very much required. Okay, so there are several ways you can load balance on Google Cloud. Uh, so last time I had discussed that there are various types of load balancers through which you can actually use it, and you can actually load balance on Google Cloud. Okay, so today we are going for application load balancer. So in this lab, what we have to do in this lab, we will configure the default region and zone for our resources. um, Previously also we had created that default region and zone, and then we have to create an application load balancer, and then we have to test the traffic to our instances. So this is a simple lab. First we have to configure the default region and zone, and then we have to create the application load balancer, and then we have to put the traffic to test. Okay, so before you start, we just have to follow the lab rule. Means whatever steps it is given here, we just have to follow that. Okay, so let's open it incognito mode. Okay, just put aside. Okay, now click on I understand. You can see it got automatically. uh, so let's check once whether it is the correct one or not. Yeah, 01, this is 503A. Okay, 503A5. Okay, fine. Okay, so I have to agree. Okay, so I am into this lab. Okay, let me place myself in the middle so that I can look after this lab. Okay, so so let's go through the instruction whatever given. So I have opened these. It is not required password, username automatically took. Now I have to activate the cloud cell. So activating cloud cell, I have shown you. We have to click on this activate cloud cell. So the CLI access will open up in this browser itself. This is called cloud cell. You have to authorize the cloud cell. It will get automatically authorized with your student account. Okay, you don't have to do anything. Yes, it is now opened. Okay, I will open it in another window. That will be for bigger view. Okay, yes, so it is opened. Okay, let's go to the next step. Whatever it is written, we have to do that only. Okay, project id, that is that is already given, that you are with this project. This is the project id. Okay, and now let's jump to the next option. To list the active account name, that is already I have shown you that this will be the only single account, because this is the temporary account actually. Okay, so next is authorize, that is already done. And project list, let me show you the project list. That also will be only single project that we are logged in currently. Okay, and then let's go to the move to the task one. Task one is to set the default region and zone for all the resources. So we have to set the default region, that is the region is US Central 1. So command is G cloud config set compute slash region and then US Central. Okay, let's execute this code. Okay, so region is updated. And next is the in cloud cell set default region, sorry, zone. So command is G cloud config set compute zone US Central 1A. So let's set this region a zone. Okay, so default region and zone is selected. Now we will move to create the application load balancer. Okay, so let's, the next task is the create multiple web server instances, and these will be the instances. Okay, we will put these instances into the means on top of it we will create application load balancers to get the incoming traffic, means external traffics to these web servers. Okay, so in previous lab I have shown you and tell you different detailed of these parameters. Okay, so again we are doing the same thing, creating ww1. This is one server that is getting created. After ww1 we have to create, it is created. Okay, and we have to create ww2. Let's create ww2. After that we have to create ww3. Okay, I have copied that, and after creating this I will enter that. Okay, you can see the configuration. It is very much easy configuration. Okay, so Apache is restarted and created and restarted, and then it is showing running. Okay, server is running, and the third server, you can see the internal IP and external IP that is also allocated for each servers. And then we installed the Apache, and Apache then got restarted, and then it is showing as running. Okay, so it is the third server we have created. Now we have to create the firewall. We have to create the firewall rule to allow external traffic into the VM instance, right? So copied that command. You can see G cloud compute firewall rules. Now create, this is the firewall rule. Network 1B, target tags is the network 1B tag, and allow TCP is 80. So we are allowing TCP port, that is 80. So it is getting created. Okay, so it is created. So after that we have to run the following to list our instances, and you will see their IP addresses in the external IP column. Okay, so these are the instance list. These three instances we have created, and this is the external IP, means through which we can access from the external world to this web server. Okay, we will access that, and also we will send the traffic there. Okay, so let's curl these external IPs. Okay, means we are accessing from the outside world, means external to these instances. It is working. You can see the output whatever we have defined. It is showing web server www1, and next external IP is this one. Okay, this is also working. It is also set the output www2. Now next one is that this one. Okay, so three three IPs, three instances are showing the output, so it is absolutely fine working. Okay, one thing I can tell you that while you are selecting any line in this CLI, it got automatically copied to your clipboard, and also you can paste it by Control V. You can see the shortcut here. It's just whatever it is in the Chrome browser, that is also working in the CLI. So this is very much user friendly. Oh, okay, next go to checking my progress. So this assessment is completed. Now next is the create an application load balancer. So application load balancer is implemented on Google front end, that is GFE. GFEs are distributed globally and operate together using Google's global network and control plane. Okay, and you can configure URL rules to route some URL to one set of instances and route other URLs to other instances. Okay, requests are always routed to the instance group that is closest to the user. If that group has enough capacity and is appropriate for the request. Okay, and if the closest group does not have enough capacity, the request is sent to the closest group that does have the capacity. Okay, so it will automatically load balance in terms of the capacity. Okay, so we don't have to think about it. So to set up a load balancer with a compute engine backup, yeah, your VMs need to be in an instance group. So already have created the instances. Now we have to create instance group. Okay, so to the managed instance group provides VM running the backend servers of an external application load balancer. For this lab, backend serve their own hostname. Okay, that we don't know, but that is actually written here. Now, what are their own hostname? Okay, so first we have to create the load balancer template. Okay, so this is the command. This is the code. G Cloud Compute Instance Templates. Then create. We are creating what we are creating instance templates. Then command is create, and this is 1b backend template. This is the name of the template, and the whole configuration is given here. Okay, so copying it. Region is given, network is default, subnet is default, tags that is allow health check, that is also given, machine type is given, that is already selected, image family that is already given. So these all are the values that is instructed for this lab only. And to pass this lab, you just have to follow whatever the instruction is given in the lab. So just copy this code, and Go there at CLI and execute this. So we are creating instance template, which is named as 1B backend templates. Okay, and okay, it is created now. Now we have to create a manage instance group based on that template. So manage, we have come, the code is G Cloud Compute Instance Groups managed create 1B backend group. This is the name. Okay, and where we have selected the template name, whatever I have created now, and then size and then zone, that is already given. Okay, now is that. So the instance group will be created now, and after creating that we have to create fw allow health check firewall rules. Okay, so it is getting created. Okay, it is now created. Now we have to create these firewall rules. It is, yeah, it is now created. Firewall rule is created now. Okay, next step is, now that instances are up and running, we already have seen that it is up and running, and now we will set up a global static external IP address that your customers use to reach your load balancer. Okay, so we have to create a global IP. Okay, it is created. Notice that the IPv4 address was reserved. Okay, we are describing the definition from which we can see what is the external IP. So see, this is the IP that is allocated as an external IP. So we have to save this IP address. Let's let's save it in. Okay, this IP I have kept it. Okay, now let's go to this. Now we have to create a health check and for the load balancer to ensure that only healthy backends are sent traffic. Okay, so this is the command to check the health check. Health. Okay, so health check are created. It will ensure that backends are healthy. So now we have to create the backend services. G Cloud Compute backend services. Create. This is the backend service name, web backend service. We have given this name, and the configuration is protocol is HTTP, port name will be HTTP, and health check, that is we already have created, and it will be a global backend service. Okay, global access will be there. Okay, so it is created backend service. Now add your instance group as the backend to the backend service. Okay, so instance group we have to add here as a backend service. Let's see what it throws. Okay, it will actually add the backend. It takes time. Next, we have to create a URL map to route the incoming request to the default backend services. Okay, so we have to create URL map to route the incoming request to the default backend service. Okay, we have to route it. This is updated one, and let's route it here. Okay, so the URL is routed. Okay, URL map that it is route. It will route the incoming request to the default backend service. The backend service we have already created that one. Okay, now next. So this URL map is a, what is URL map? Now URL map is a Google Cloud configuration resource used to route request to backend services or backend buckets. Okay. For example, with an external application load balancer, you can use a single URL map to route requests to different destination based on the rules configured in the URL map. Okay, so request for example, this URL go to one backend service, request for this go to different backend service, request for this URL go to a cloud storage backend bucket. Okay, like this. Now we have to create a target HTTP proxy to route request to your URL map. We have to create HTTP proxies. Okay, it is created. Next is the create global firewall rule to route incoming request to the proxy. So create it and paste it. Yeah. So this firewall rule is getting created. Um to route incoming request to that proxy that we have created. Okay, now this forwarding rule and its corresponding IP address represent the front end configuration of a Google Cloud load balancer. Okay, so check my progress creating and application load balancers. So it is completed. So I have created the L7 application load balancer. Now next task is to test traffic sent to your instances on the Google Cloud Console. We are in the search field. We have to type load balancing, then choose load balancing from the search result. Okay, so let's go to the Google Cloud Console. In the search button, to create load balancing, click the load balancing. Okay, we have created this w web map HTTP. This is one backend and one instance group. It is already included. Right now we have to click on the load balancer that we just created. This is the load balancer we have created, application load balancer. You can see the type, that is application. Okay, now you can see the IP that is and the port that is given. Protocol is HTTP. Click on the name of the backend and confirm that the VMs are healthy. Yes, in the backend section you can see this is the name of the backend group, and it is showing 2 out of 2 is healthy, means all are healthy, and so it is showing healthy actually the name. Okay, when the VMs are healthy, test the load balancer using a web browser, going to that IP address, replacing IP address with the load balancer IP address that we have copied earlier. Okay, so we have copied this IP and we have to open it with HTTP. See, it is opening. You have to continue. Yeah, page start from IB backend group CZ10. Okay, so it is working from the external world, you can see. And let's check my progress. Yes, assessment is completed. So it is completed with all the assessment, but it is still showing active. Why? Okay, now it got updated. So the lab is complete. So this application load balancer lab we have created and we have tested the traffic. So let's end the lab.